Good afternoon, Pokésports, and welcome to another tier list video. In today's tier list, we're going to be looking at the flying typing, and I'm super excited to get started with this list because flying is actually a very diverse type with a lot of different Pokemon. So this might be a little bit of a long list, but hey, stick around, get comfortable. If you guys are enjoying the series so far, go ahead and hit the like button down below and subscribe to Pokésports if you haven't done so already, because we're going to be having some Legends Arceus stuff coming on the channel soon. Super excited for that game. So if you guys are excited, let me know down below in the comment section as well. Hope to see you guys there when I inevitably start uploading it. But while we're still in Sword and Shield, let's look ahead and see what flying types are the best and the worst. Starting off with the top of the list, the best of the best flying type. Who do we have? Who could it possibly be? I think this goes without saying. This spot is for Landorus-Therian. Specifically, Intimidate is terribly annoying and very good. Ground flying, incredibly great typing because you're immune to ground. You can have very good instances with Disc Quake combinations because you're also ground type. You get to sit on the field if your ally is going for Earthquake on top of it, and you're immune to electricity. I mean, what's wrong with Thundurus? Landorus, unfortunately, because Landorus does it all. Has pivoting, has high attack, has high defenses, has a great typing. Intimidate to just make its defense even better. Stick an Assault Vest on this. Guess what? You have your special defense and an Intimidate. So you are just instantly tankier at the beginning of the match. You have Dynamax options now. Just go for a G-Max flying move and take some things out. Set yourself up. Get speedy. Get terrifying. Landorus deserves to be there. Now, that brings us to the bottom of the bottom, though. What Pokemon is absolute trash? And I think I was looking at this list for a long time, and I had a hard time deciding which was trash. And the reason why is because I was between like 3 of them. I think we'll start off the list with saying sorry Ledian and sorry Delibird. I couldn't decide which of them was worse, so they're both going right there on the list right away. I think that goes without saying. I mean, what do they do? I mean, I guess Delibird gets Fake Out, but come on, guys, let's be honest. Moving on to the rest of the list, let's go ahead and try to rush through this a little bit. Not rush through it, but there is a lot of Pokemon here that won't make much of a difference on this list. But I think a solid A tier is Togekiss. Togekiss was a lot more annoying when there was a condensed dex. And the reason why is because you didn't have Zacian in the metagame, but now that you have Zacian, Togekiss kind of took a little bit of an L on that. But doesn't matter. Togekiss in general has that whole Crit Kiss set with Super Luck and Dazzling Gleam and Heat Wave. Does have a Dynamax option to get max Airstreams going. Does also have Follow Me for redirection. There's like a Berry Follow Me set as well. You can even go Serene Grace and Paraflinch people to death. You have so many options with Togekiss. I think it's a solid A tier. I had a hard time not putting an S tier. And the only reason I don't put an S tier is simply because of where it is in the metagame right now. Because if you would ask me to make this list months ago, instant S tier, S plus tier, nothing could beat this Pokemon. It's broke. It's dumb. So here we are now. Anyway, let's move on with the rest of the tier. There are a lot of like bad mons that I think can join our friends here in F tier, like Chatot. I mean, the only thing Chatot can do was shout profanities in Generation 4 to your friends while you were battling them. That's the only cool thing Chatot ever did. It never did anything cool in a Pokemon battle. So let's go ahead and stick Chatot in F tier. Unfortunately, no matter how much I love that thing. I was gonna say music note. I guess it is kind of a music note. Noctowl, instant F tier. No, okay, Noctowl. I have some bad blood with Noctowl. Mainly because when Pokésports was very young and I first started off on Pokésports, Noctowl, I lost the Noctowl. And everyone made fun of me for it. So just for that, I'll give Noctowl a solid D tier. Congratulations to Noctowl, you're not absolute garbage. You get to settle here in D tier. Butterfree, I'll actually give a B. I think Butterfree is a nice B Pokemon because Butterfree does have some interesting sets. It does get access to Sleep Powder and Compound Eyes, which makes it a more accurate Sleep Powder than most Sleep Powders. It's also pretty decent with the Sash and helping Trick Room Mons set up. I know it was very popular early meta with Rhyperior on the back. So, you just have like a Dusclops and a Butterfree lead. You just sleep the one that can KO your Dusclops, and usually Dusclops needed 2 things to KO it in general. So I think Butterfree was a really good partner for Dusclops in that sense. So yeah, solid B. I'll give it a B. I'll give it a B. Charizard and G-Max Charizard. Those are solid A's, right? They're both kind of solid A's. Charizard by itself, as long as it's in the sun, can still get something going, still make something happen. I wouldn't give an S tier because, you know, there are many instances where Charizard lacks the speed it needs in order to get the KOs that it finds necessary, right? So just because it lacks that speed, there's some instances where this friend can come and, you know, G-Max lightning you, or you know, something else can go for a G-Max Rockfall on you and you just fall, unfortunately. Since we brought up Zapdos, I think Zapdos is another... I think Zapdos might actually be S. In my opinion, Zapdos is S. So is Thundurus. These kind of do very similar things. I definitely wouldn't say it's necessarily better than Thundurus, but Dynamaxing Zapdos is super strong currently. You get access to max airstream. You also do so much damage, and Zapdos is not the frailest mon in the world. You can build it bulky, and it'll stay on the field for a long time. On top of that, you have a very hard time going against Zapdos, because Zapdos can even heal itself up with Roost. So if you build a tanky Zapdos, and your opponent doesn't have anything that can do more than 50% to it, you could sit there and Roost the whole game. Super terrifying. B tier, I'll give another B tier to Aerodactyl. I have pleasant memories with Aerodactyl. I used to run Aerodactyl next to a Mewtwo in like early, was it Series 11? Probably Series 10. It was probably Series 10 because Calyrex was everywhere. So I'd run Mewtwo with the Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl does have access to Tailwind, has access to Inner Focus, has access to Wide Guard. That's all you need, right? So I think Aerodactyl is a solid support mon and deserves to be in B tier. It also has stab rock sides, and that are very fast rock sides on top of it all. So, hey, free flinches sometimes. Let's do the rest of the genies, I guess. So I think Landorus is maybe an A. Landorus regular is an A. It's not as good as Therian. I think Therian does have a lot more merit because it's has a lot more attack. It's not as fast, but it's not a big difference. And it's a lot tankier. It does have Intimidate as well. Landorus Incarnate is kind of, you know, Sheer Force, Life Orb, no other option. And unfortunately, it doesn't have a great move pool for Sheer Force moves. It has Sludge Bomb, Earth Power, Psychic. That's it. You know, I guess you could do Rock Slide, but then you're going Hybrid. So you're sacrificing, you know, some attack. I mean, you're also sacrificing Protect at that point. I think kind of the same boat here for... Therian Thundurus. Incarnate Thundurus is so much better. Therian Thundurus is very one-dimensional in the sense that instead of going full-on in attack, it goes full-on in special attack. So... Volt Absorb could be a better move too. I think Defiant, and since Defiant was introduced this generation to regular Thundurus, it just makes more sense to run physical and run Defiant. Tornadus I give S tier though. Tornadus regular I'll give S tier. Because Tornadus next to Kyogre is busted. Prankster Tailwind, if not the fastest Prankster Tailwind in the game. So definitely a great accolade to have, right? It's nice to be a very fast Prankster mon. Does also get access to Taunt and access to Icy Wind. Great support mon. Very hard hitting Hurricanes. There are some Hurricanes where I don't think they should be KOing and they just destroy my face. So kudos to you for even carrying that. You never see Therian Tornadus though. Or at least I never do. And I don't know if I'm comfortable putting it in the same tier as Charizard. I feel like there's some disrespect there to Charizard. In fact, I would even put Charizard above Togekiss. You know, this doesn't see play because it doesn't do anything that this Pokemon doesn't do, right? It just loses Prankster. It gets Regenerator, which is kind of a cool ability. It's not a bad ability. It's just not as good as Prankster. So I feel like that's kind of where the Therian Tornadus slacks a little bit. I could be wrong, but, you know, that's just my opinion on that. Rayquaza. I'll give Rayquaza top of A, too. Rayquaza's very strong right now. In fact, I did build a team a couple days back I believe on Monday. It was Monday's video or Monday's stream. So if you guys wanted to go and watch that, it's available. I built a team with Rayquaza, and the team is very legit. Rayquaza is a respectable Dynamax Mon. I made fun of it earlier when I heard people were running Rayquaza to just prevent Kyogres from doing Kyogre things and prevent Groudons from doing Groudon things. I disrespected it a lot, and I take everything back because that Pokemon is very strong. If you have speed control on the team, Rayquaza can take over. Just a couple max airstreams, those Pokemon are gone instantly. You also do have the option of being both physical and special, so your opponent actually never knows what you actually are, which is pretty cool. It's a good advantage to have. Beautifly, F tier? Yeah. What do you do? What does Beautifly do? Someone say one thing that Beautifly does. 1, 2, 3. Too late. Nothing else can convince me. I don't think Beautifly is gonna accomplish much, and I don't think it deserves to be high up on the list. Pelipper, I'll give a A tier. Pelipper's great. Pelipper, great rain setter, great Pokemon. There's actually gonna be a lot of A tiers here. I'm looking at it now. I think the A tiers are gonna be the highest category on this list so far. Pelipper, great for setting weather, great rain user. Also has access to Wide Guard, also has access to Tailwind. Very strong Mon indeed. Pidgeot, I guess D tier. Mega Pidgeot was cooler, and I guess Fearow. This is gonna end up being the normal bird tier list. Because let's be honest, the normal flying tier list is not a great tier list to be a part of. Except Staraptor is so much better. Hold on. Staraptor, let's give some respect to Staraptor's name. Actually, maybe it's C tier. It does have access to Intimidate. Don't get me wrong, it has access to Intimidate, but I think it doesn't have utility beyond that, right? Let's keep adding on to the normal bird tier list because I'm right? I'm not wrong. Okay, maybe Unpheasant is a little bit better because it does get crits. But the other ones I think I'm pretty accurate with. I think they all deserve to be in D tier. Hey, they're staying there. It's my tier list. Speaking of utility, I say Skarmory B, and then Celesteela A. I'm gonna do I guess I'll do all steel types, all steel flying types right now. Not all of them, but you know, the important 3. I think both Corviknight and Skarmory have utility. They have options for them. You know, they have defog. They set up entry hazards. They are tanky things. They sit there and stall. They're walls. They're physical, special walls. Same thing goes with Celesteela, you know, except Celesteela has the added effect of being a lot tankier, and a lot stronger, and get a cool ability like Beast Boost, which you just make yourself that much tankier, that much stronger. Celesteela's stats are so unique, you can actually EV it to get the Beast Boost in different places. Like, you can get a special attack boost, or you can get a special defense boost. I don't think you can EV to get a speed boost because that's just the way the stats work out. But you know what I mean. The options are there. You can run physical, you can run special, you have access to flamethrower, you have access to leech seeds. You know, you have so many options. So I think Celesteela is a solid pick. Easy A tier. Do we do Kanto birds now? I think we can. I think both Galarian Articuno and Galarian Zapdos, I'll say top of B. So I think they're both, there's some utility. Galarian Zapdos is cool for coaching. It's cool for Thunderous Kick. It works very well next to physical attackers. It's also really cool because it has Defiance. So if you do get intimidated turn 1, you rotate the stats and you get a +1. You also have access to Max Airstream. It's like the fastest of the 3 Galarian birds. And then Galarian Articuno I think is cool because you have access to Trick Room, and you also get competitive. Not a lot of Pokemon get competitive, so the fact that it has competitive is very rare, and it makes it a very interesting Pokemon. Now, I will say Galarian Moltres is a lot better than those 2, though. So let's go ahead and put Galarian Moltres like A tier. It's literally baby Yveltal, and Yveltal is an easy S tier, right? You can agree Yveltal is amazing Pokemon, especially in the Calyrex meta with the Calyrex Shadow and Calyrex Ice. Yveltal's a great Pokemon to have into those Pokemon because you have access to Foul Play, you have access to Sucker Punch. Kind of the same situation with Moltres, though. Moltres is baby Yveltal. It's Yveltal in a meta where restricteds are not allowed. The only reason that Moltres, Galarian Moltres, is not seeing play right now is because we have Yveltal. But you take away Yveltal, Galarian Moltres reigns supreme again. So that's just the only difference, which is why I think, you know, honestly, this could be up here with all the success it's had in the past. But just because Yveltal exists right now, I'm going to bump it down to A tier, but very respectable A tier for sure. Other birds. What are we missing? We did Zapdos. Articuno, I'm sorry. Articuno, the only thing cool Articuno could do is Sheer Cold. That's it, right? And then even Moltres. I mean, Moltres I'll give a B tier, because Moltres does have access to pretty cool moves. Does get access to, like, Brave Bird and Fire Blast, which is so much better than, you know, Sheer Cold. But I will say that this is just a lot worse version than Ho-Oh, which I believe is not the greatest S tier, but still deserves to be S tier because Ho-Oh is very strong. And I think just because it's bulky and has cool abilities like Regenerator and gets access to Sacred Fire, which is a somewhat unique move. Not a lot of Pokemon have it, and there's a 50% chance to burn there. I like that. I like that Pokemon as an option. I haven't played it yet this series, so I don't know exactly how well it's doing the series, but I do feel like it won't be awful. Right? I think most of us can agree that it wouldn't be awful to have on your team. Altaria is yeah, I think Altaria belongs in the D tier. It does Dragon Dance things. They tried to give it a Mega. Even that didn't make it good. I think in general, it's not a great Pokemon to have on your team. Salamence, I'll give an A tier to, because Salamence does have access to Intimidate. Does have access to, you know, elemental moves, Hydro Pump, Fire Blast. Could even go special, physical. You have options on both ends with Salamence. I think it goes to show that Salamence is a pretty solid Pokemon. Same thing goes with Gyarados, right? Gyarados is amazing. I'll put Gyarados next to Thundurus to help it protect it a little bit. But but the one thing that you have bad is that you're 4 times weak to electricity. Everything else you can kind of tolerate. You do have 2 cool abilities with Moxie and with Intimidate. So your options are very not very limited, very broad with Gyarados. I'm looking at the rest, and it looks like we're getting to the slim pickings. We're getting kind of to the bottom of the list. Drifblim, solid, easy B. Drifblim, early meta, I love this thing. I used to pop the Unburden, Tailwind, have Strength Sap. Used to be so annoying. And I loved it so much. It was definitely the most fun I've had in VGC was playing Drifblim with Male and DD on the field. Dynamax and the Male and DD going for max Mindstorms after setting up the Tailwind because you were literally the fastest thing in existence. Oh, I broke everything. I'll give this A or B. I think I gave it B. I think that was a B. So, yeah, out of respect, I'll give it B tier. I understand it's not great in every situation, but I love that thing. Kind of same goes for Mantine. Mantine with Swift Swim is not a joke. It's not a joke. In fact, I think it's a very good partner to Kyogre that a lot of people don't respect. Of course, there's Tornadus, right? Which is a great partner to Kyogre. But Mantine can do it too. Mantine gets Swift Swim, so it's just as fast as a Prankster, I guess. Can set up the Tailwind. Has Wide Guard to stop, you know, incoming Calyrexes or other moves that are terrifying. Discharges, for example, can stop discharges. So, hey, Mantine, you do you. I think Mantine's not that bad. Rotom-Fly. The Pokemon with an ability that is unnecessary for flying types. I will give it a C because if we can disregard the fact that it's really redundant with its abilities, it still hits hard and it still does have access to flying and electric moves. So that's unique in and of itself. So it's not bad. It's not great. It's there. I want to give Crobat an A tier for the same reason I mentioned in yesterday's poison type video. Inner Focus, Tailwind, Taunt, very fast, very hard hitting, great Pokemon. I think it's definitely underused and could be used a lot more in this metagame and, you know, make things happen. Farfetch'd, sorry. Actually, F tier, sorry, extra sorry. Anything else I could just throw in F tier? Not really. Mothim. Yeah, Mothim. Masquerain, I'll give a C tier. Masquerain does have access to Intimidate. Vespiquen, I'll also give a D tier. It has cool moves like Attack Order and Defend Order, but no one's playing Vespiquen and having fun. Gliscor A tier. I know Gliscor is very annoying in singles, especially with Toxic Heal and with its typing. It has the same broken typing as, you know, Landorus, so it's only really weak to ice and water. And, you know, EQs are strong. EQ is a great stab to have. So if you could have a good solid ground type on your team, you're off to a great start. Murkrow. Let me put Murkrow in B tier. I'll put it in the end of B tier because we haven't seen what it can do this generation yet. We only know what it can do in BDSP. But this is Sword and Shield. It gets access to Taunt. It gets access to Foul Play. It gets access to Tailwind. It gets access to so many things. Quash. Thunderwave. Haze. Like, the list goes on. So let's go ahead and stick a Murkrow in B tier. See if I regret that later on. Honchkrow. C? Maybe C? I'm a little iffy on this because I want to put it in B, but I don't think it's as good as Murkrow, and I don't think Murkrow is good enough to move to A, so I'm kind of in between on that one. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% on that one quite yet. Lugia, I think, is an A. Compared to all these Pokemon, might even be a C, but I do think Lugia, just because it's so tanky, because it is a restricted mon, it is in a, you know, a Dynamax format. You have the option for Dynamaxing. It does have an easy proc to weakness policy because you're weak to dark. So you can even do fling strats, you can do brutal swing strats if you don't want to get redirected. So I think Lugia, yeah, Lugia is a solid A. Tropius is very unfortunate. I think Tropius is bad. Hopefully no one disagrees with me, but Tropius doesn't get the job done. It's a really cool Pokemon. Maybe if it had a better typing or better evolution, it could do more, but as it stands right now, it doesn't get the job done, I feel. Yanmega, I will say, is a pretty decent Pokemon. Hits hard, goes fast, has speed boost. Not bad. Zubat, same thing. Zubat has that cool ability, I think, Simple. So all the stats you get doubled. So weakness policy is amazing on this thing. There are some strats that you can do with it. I tried and I struggled. But if you get the ideal scenario where all the stars align and everything's perfect, you can maybe do something with Zubat. Xatu has Magic Bounce, so there is utility in Xatu. So I will put it above the Noctowls and the other kind of, you know, starter birds. Sigilyph, I'll give a B to. It does have Trick Room. It does have Tailwind. Does have, you know, Wide Guard, I think. I think it also does have Wide Guard. No, it has Gravity. Gravity is the thing it has. It's one of the few Pokemon that have Gravity and Tailwind. So if you really wanted to set up, you know, some 100% accuracy Hypnosises, then you have the option for that. Ninjask. I'll give Ninjask a C. I'll give Ninjask a C because there's also Speed Boost there. So there is maybe a little bit of utility. I don't think it's going to be great in C, but the option of being in C is there. Cramorant. Another C. I feel like if you really want to lose hard, but have fun while you're playing the game, you can play Cramorant. It does have a very unique ability and a very unique move pool and very unique Pokemon. You know, not a lot of Pokemon vomit a Pikachu. So I think the niche might exist. But I'm definitely not going to put it in the upper tiers, right? Let's be honest. Talonflame, I think Talonflame's an A. You get priority Brave Bird. It was amazing in previous generations. Of course, they nerfed Gale Wings a little bit, but still great ability to have. Shaman, another A. Shaman Fly is very strong. Very strong and very fast. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of A types. Flying type is a great type, guys. So very strong, very fast. Grass flying type, but it does have the added ability of being, you know, speedier than the Tropius. Jumpluff D tier. Emolga probably D tier as well. Emolga does get Motor Drive and Discharge. Oh, hold on. Emolga gets Motor Drive and Discharge as a flying type. Can't get Disquaked. I guess, right? Mandibuzz, A tier. Mandibuzz, tanky, foul play, tailwind. Not fun. Not fun to play against. Archeops. C tier, only good if you have Galarian Wheezing or Wheezing to neutralize its ability, because otherwise Defeatist is so awful, man. Defeatist is really not a great ability to have. Noivern. Noivern, top of B. Top of B for sure. Hawlucha. I'll put top of C for Hawlucha. I think Hawlucha is very cool with Unburden as well. Noivern's very good with Boom Burst and with Tailwind as well. Being very fast without having Prankster. It's very useful. This leaves us with Dragonite and Braviary. Braviary gets Intimidate. Not Intimidate. It gets Defiant, so that's cool. Also gets Sheer Force, so you can do a Sheer Force Life Orb thing. I personally think the Defiant is better. I think it's a solid B. Maybe towards the middle of B. You know, somewhere around there. I think it's a solid B. And Dragonite is also a solid A. Dragonite's really good next to Colossal, right? Dragonite with Aqua Jet next to Colossal. You do also have Inner Focus. And you have other support moves as well. So I think Dragonite's pretty cool. And if you want to go the other route, you want to go Weakness Policy and Multiscale, you can do that too. You can go ahead and play that game and Dynamax and Airstream all you want. So that's my tier list. Let me know what you guys think. I know this might be a little bit controversial because we have so many in the upper echelons and a lot less in the bottom echelons, but I just honestly think Flying type is a good typing. Maybe you guys disagree with me. Let me know down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, you know, do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Make sure to hit the bell if you're looking forward to some Pokemon Legends Arceus, which is coming out quite soon. So I hope you guys will stick around with me for that on the channel. Anyway, I'm Kevin, this is Pokésports. Have a great night. Peace out.